Hello friends, welcome to my channel Mindful Life. In this video I am going to talk about life of the Buddha. Buddha was born 25 centuries back somewhere around 550 BC at Siddhartha Gautama. The day Siddhartha Gautama was conceived, his mother had a dream that a white elephant with 6 tusks entered her womb from the right side. It was a very auspicious sign. At that time, there was a custom that a pregnant woman would travel to her father's house to give birth to the child. When Siddhartha's mother Mahamaya was traveling from his father's kingdom Kapilavastu towards her father's kingdom, at the place called Lumbini, she started having birth pangs, and she gave birth to the child Siddhartha in the forest between Kapilavastu to her father's house. It is said that Buddha emerged from her right side, sparing her from birth pangs. When Siddhartha was just born, it is said that he took 7 steps in all the 4 directions. Later on, came to his father's palace at Kapilavastu. His father convened all the ascetics and Brahmins from the kingdom to give forecast about Siddhartha Gautama. It said that most of the ascetics predicted that the child would become a world leader. However, there was one ascetic, Asita, who touched the Buddha's feet and started crying. Buddha's father Suddhodana asked Asita why was he crying. Asita said that his child will become a great spiritual leader, and when he will be teaching, Asita will be no more. That is why he is crying. Suddhodana, Buddha's father, didn't wanted him to become a spiritual leader. However, he wanted him to become a world leader. In order to do that, Siddhartha's father Suddhodana built 3 palaces full of pleasure for Siddhartha. He thought that if he is indulged in the worldly pleasures, he will not think of becoming a spiritual leader. Later on, Siddhartha got married to a beautiful princess Yasodhara. When Siddhartha was 29, he wanted to see life outside palace. So he asked his father's permission to see the life outside the palace. However, his father said that there is nothing worth seeing outside the palace. However, Siddhartha Gautama insisted that he wants to go and see life outside the palace. So his father arranged a royal chariot for Siddhartha to go and see life outside palace. Siddhartha's father hide away all the miserable sights which Siddhartha can see from the royal chariot. When Siddhartha was out, he first saw a sick man. He asked his charioteer Channa, what has happened to that man? Channa told that man is sick, has become sick. Then Siddhartha said that do all of us become sick? Channa said that yes, master. Everyone becomes sick sometime or later in their life. Later on, Siddhartha saw an old man. Siddhartha asked Channa what has happened to that man. Channa said that man is simply old, and all of us who are now young will have to become old. Then the third sight Siddhartha saw on his trip outside the palace was that of a dead man. Siddhartha asked Channa what has happened to him. He said that man is dead and all of us who are living has to die. Then Siddhartha saw the fourth sight when on his trip, and that was of the monk. Siddhartha asked his charioteer Channa what's the problem with that man? Why is he wearing yellow clothes and shaved his head? Channa said that he is a monk and he is a Sikh monk. He is a seeker and he is looking for higher truth. Then later on, Siddhartha returned to his palace. At night, Siddhartha woke up and found out and saw all those dancers who were entertaining him day and night in sleeping in disarray. Some of them were snoring. For some of them there was saliva dripping out of their mouth. See, that entire sight repulsed Siddhartha too much. And then and there, Siddhartha made a decision to go forth, to go outside, go to drop the palatial life and go outside in search of a truth. That night, Siddhartha saw his Yashodhara and his newly born son Rahula from distance. He thought that if he would woke up Yashodhara, then Yashodhara won't let him go. That night, Siddhartha woke up Channa and with his horse Kantaka rode outside this palace. It is said that the gods opened the doors of the palace for him and made all those servants sleep so that no one can see Siddhartha going out. After traveling from Kapilavastu towards the forest, Siddhartha stopped in near the forest, and he cut off his hair, and which was sign of royalty, and he gave all his ornament to Channa and told Channa to go back to the palace. It is said that the Siddhartha's horse Kantaka was so disheartened by the departure of his master that Kantaka died then and there near the forest. Then Siddhartha, when he started walking in the forest, he found one beggar, and he exchanged his clothes, royal clothes, with the beggar. The beggar happily obliged. When then Siddhartha started looking for teachers in the forest. First, he came across the teacher Alara Kalama. With Alara Kalama, Siddhartha quickly learned whatever Alara Kalama has to teach to him. But however, he was dissatisfied, as once he came out of the meditation, the suffering he was still there. Afterwards, Siddhartha sought another teacher, Udaka Ramaputta. Same thing happened. Siddhartha learned quickly whatever Udaka Ramaputta has to teach, and Udaka Ramaputta offered Siddhartha as a leader of his community. However, Siddhartha said that I don't want to become a leader. Whenever Siddhartha was in the meditation state Alara taught him, he felt good. But he always had to come out of that meditation state, and his suffering was still there. Siddhartha was looking for a way to end suffering for everyone. Afterwards, Siddhartha was traveling through the forest, and he came across 5 ascetics who were practicing extreme asceticism, like standing on one leg, eating very small food, standing on head, etc. etc. Siddhartha thought that might be the way towards end of suffering. So he practiced from 29 years old to 35 years old. For 6 years, he practiced extreme asceticism. He used to eat only 1 grain of rice per day. He has become so thin that he was just only blood and bones remained of his body. Then Siddhartha was frustrated, as even after 6 years of penance and extreme asceticism, he had achieved nothing. Then he traveled. Then he traveled near to a nearby river. There he heard a musical instrument. So he thought that if the strings of the musical instruments are too tight, and then if you play the musical instrument, the strings break down. If the strings of the musical instruments are too loose, then the music won't be produced. So the string have to be just enough tight so that the music will be produced. That gave him an idea of the middle path, that there should not be extreme indulgence and there should not be extreme asceticism. That time, Siddhartha remembered when Siddhartha was a child, there was a harvesting season festival at Kapilavastu. At that time, Siddhartha saw the grass, the natural sight of grass and insects, and he fell upon a natural meditative state. Siddhartha remembered of that meditative state, and he thought that with his extremely weak body, he won't be able to attain to that meditative state, so he has to eat something. Then a village girl called Sujata offered Siddhartha milk and rice porridge. So Siddhartha nourished his body. Those five ascetics looking at Siddhartha having a meal, sumptuous meal, thought that Siddhartha had given his quest for truth, and feeling disgusted, they left Siddhartha. Then a village farmer offered Siddhartha blades of grass to make a cushion and sit. Siddhartha sat beneath the Bodhi tree with a resolution that no matter if his entire blood goes out and he is remained of only bones, he will not leave that place until he achieves supreme enlightenment. Siddhartha sat under the Bodhi tree looking for supreme enlightenment. At that at that night, at that night, Mara, the evil god of desire and attachment, came there, and he want Mara was actually Mara is actually either metaphor for Siddhartha's unconscious mind, or as the story goes, Mara was actual being. Mara convened his army of demons and shot arrows of fire towards Siddhartha. However, because of Siddhartha's meditative and spiritual powers, all those arrows fell on Siddhartha, got converted into flowers, and flowers fell upon him. Later on, Mara gave his three daughters and asked them to seduce Siddhartha of his meditative state. However, Siddhartha was not even moved, and those Mara's daughters couldn't seduce Siddhartha to leave his meditation. Then Mara asked that you don't deserve. Mara says Siddhartha that you don't deserve this seat of enlightenment, and that seat of enlightenment was his. And Mara said that my army of thousands of demons is a witness that I deserve the seat of enlightenment. And Mara asked Gautam Buddha, who is your witness? So Siddhartha just touched the earth, and the earth shook. And Siddhartha said that this earth where I am sitting is the witness that I deserve enlightenment. Afterwards, there was an earthquake and Mara left. Then that night, in the first watch of the night, Siddhartha remembered all his past lives. One past life, second, two past life, 10 past life, 100 past life. He remembered all of them. That in those past life, his name was such and such. He belonged to such and such clan. Sometimes he was a woman, sometimes he was a man. Then during the second watch of the night, Siddhartha, with his divine vision, saw all the beings being dying and reborn. All the beings of this earth die and reborn. In the third watch of the night, Siddhartha understood dependent origination, that nothing is no phenomena is without some other phenomena causing it. He contemplated on cause and effect relationship between all the phenomena. Then during the fourth watch of the night, Siddhartha, the Four Noble Truths and Eightfold Path towards enlightenment become engraved in his mind. Afterwards, that night, Siddhartha became enlightened, and now he is to be called as the Gautama Buddha. When he got enlightenment, he spent 7 days in the under the blissful Bodhi tree. He was contemplating that the Dhamma that he has understood, and the Dhamma that he has understood is so sublime, it will be difficult to teach other people what he has attained. Then Brahma Shamapati, the god Brahma Shamapati arrived, and he arrived near Gautama Buddha and said that there are beings in this world who have very less dust in their eyes, and they will be able to understand your Dhamma. Then Siddhartha thought of it. Then Siddhartha decided to teach his Dhamma for the benefit of all and for the happiness of all. So he thought that First, he thought that his former teachers Udakaramaputta and Allarakama Kalama might be able to understand his Dhamma, but with his clairvoyance, he saw that both Allarakama Kalama and Udakaramaputta were dead. Then he thought that his previous 5 ascetic friends, they might be able to understand his Dhamma. So he traveled towards Saranath, where those 5 ascetics were located. When those 5 ascetics saw Siddhartha Gautama Buddha come towards them, they first said that, look, the Buddha is Siddhartha is coming, and he had previously given his search for truth. We will not entertain him. But as Buddha approached towards them, they saw that there is something different about the Buddha. They ran towards the Buddha. They washed his feet and prepared seat for him. Buddha said to them that I have attained the supreme enlightenment, and now I will teach you. The Buddha gave sermon of the 4 noble truth and noble eightfold path to the 5 ascetics. That sermon was called as Dhammacakkappavattana Sutra, or the turning of the wheel. That was the beginning of his teaching. So from the age of 35 till he turned 80, Buddha taught his Dhamma to many people. At the time when Buddha was 80 and he was about to die, Buddha travelled from Vaishali towards Kushinara. At Kushinara, he asked his attendant Ananda to prepare a seat for him between 2 sal trees. While lying between the 2 sal trees, Buddha told his weeping disciples that when I am gone, the Dhamma will be your teacher. He said that Apodipo Bhava, that is, be a light into yourself. And the last words of the Buddha was, all conditioned things are impermanent. Strive for your own. All conditioned things are impermanent. Strive for your own liberation with diligence. And then Buddha entered into parinirvana. Thank you. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and like, comment and share this video. Thank you very much.